This LeetCode problem is called Find Players with 0 or 1 losses. It's LeetCode number 2225. We are given an integer array, they call it matches, and it's a 2D array. So that 2D array is going to contain some pairs of winners and losers, and we need to compute that array to return a list of size 2 where answer in the first index is the list of all players that have not lost any match, and in the second index is a list of all players that have lost exactly one match. The values in the two lists, that is answer index 0 and index 1, these values have to be returned in increasing order. In the input array, the list of winners and losers indicates that the first player at the first index is the winner, and in index 1, that is the second index, is the loser. We have 1 and 3, meaning that player 1 has defeated player 3. Player 2 here has defeated player 3, and so on. This here would be our answer. We have two different lists. In the first list, we have all the players that have not lost any match. So here, 1 is a loser. If you look at the second indices in all the groups inside of this array, you will see that 1 is never at the second index in index 1 because 1 has never lost any match. That's why it is present in that first list here in the answer. Player 2 has never lost a match, but player 4 has lost one match in here. So player 4 has lost to player 10, but it has only lost a single match. So it's in the second list right here because the second list, as they say, is for all the players that have lost exactly one match. So this is pretty much the same thing as they've explained here. So this is my solution. I'm going to use a sorted map in C++. Now I can loop through my input vector, which is a 2D vector right here. They call it matches. So here I'm accessing every match, which is itself a vector of integers. I access it by reference. For every match, I'm going to access the winner, which is at index 0 in the pair here. So the pair for the match, index 0 is the winner. I just want to add the winner to my map without doing anything. So if you look here, my map is a map where the keys are integers and the values are also integers. If you do something like this, where the winner is an index for the map, the key is going to be created where the key is going to be the value of the player, but nothing is going to happen. So the value for that key is going to remain the default integer value, which is 0. For the losers, because here, if you look at the task that we are working on, we have a list of players that have not lost any match and those that have lost exactly one match. It means that in any case, we always need to keep track of the losses for every player. So I only increment the count of losses for all the players in my 2D vector. So if a player has lost a match, I'm going to increment the count by 1. On the contrary, if they've won a match, I don't do anything. I just make sure that they have a key corresponding to their number inside of my map. Now here I'm creating my answer vector. It has to be a 2D vector because our answer comprises two different lists. So here I'm now creating my different lists. The first list is this one here and the second one is this one. Now I can loop through my map where the keys are already sorted. And I'm going to check if for every player inside of my map, the number of losses or the number of defeats is 0. If it is, then I'm going to push it to my first list here, this one. Remember that answer is a 2D vector. So the first list is for the players that have not lost any match. So if the number of losses is a 0, then I can push them to my first list. But what I'm pushing is the key for the player or the player's number, which is player.first. But if they've only lost a single match, meaning the value for the count of losses is 1 in the map, then I'm going to push them in my second list, which is the one created here. Now we don't need this cout statements. I just have it to show you guys what is happening in my map. So I'm going to run this, leave the cout statements, and then remove it afterward. So in this list, you see that player number 1 and 2 here have a 0. They've never lost any match. Same thing for player number 10. In our answer here, in the first list, we have 1, 2, and 10. Players 4, 5, and also players 7 and 8 right here. They've only lost a single match. That's why the value is 1. So 4, 5, 7, and 8 are in the second list. So now I'm going to submit my solution. To speed it up, I'm going to remove my print statements. Let's close the console and click on Submit. And there we have it. We've passed all the test cases. So I hope this solution was very simple for you. We used a map, which is already sorted in C++ for the keys. Then we looped through the vector, recorded every winner, counted every defeat. Then we created our answer vector, which is a 2D vector. Then we checked the values for every player. If it was 0 for the number of defeats, they were added to the first list. If it was 1, they were added to the second list. And then we simply return the answer because the return type of this function is a 2D vector of integers. So that's it for our solution. Let's check the details here. We had 127 test cases and we've passed all of them. So if you like my solution and you want to practice more coding interview questions, please subscribe to my channel, drop your comments in the comment section, and I'll catch you next time.